Ben Pyle is here, writer and co-founder of Climate Debate UK. Ben, very good morning to you.
Morning, mate.
Good to see you, sir. I mean, Sadiq Khan in the news for the cannabis debate, but I mean, he's generally speaking in the news for much else besides, including deciding to put the London Congestion Charge up 20%. To £18. I was talking to a driver this morning who said, well, that's going to cripple an awful lot of professional drivers because, you know, yet again, he doesn't care about them. It's going to go, so what, £15 extra a week?
I make it, but I don't know how much extra it is a week or a year or a day. I think it sounds small, only £3 extra a day, but over the course of a year, that's the better part of £4,000. I think it's £3,900 if you're driving 5 days a week in London. So that's it. You know, you might be a roofer, you might be a plumber, electrician, or, you know, I mean, these are just these costs are adding on and on and on to all of the other expenses that people in London experience, like the ever rising rent increases and the other costs of living.
Right.
You know, the cost of the supermarket shop is going up, and of course you won't be able to drive to your supermarket and home again if you're facing these increasing costs. And I think people talk a good game about how it's going to improve London, but if you're on one side of the river, for example, and your family that you've moved from because the prices are rising, or on the other, public transport is not really an option for you. That's going to be, you know, those congestion charges are going to go up. But I mean, imagine dragging a family of 4 or 5 through the tube system or on the buses to go and see grandma on the other side of the river once or twice a week. These are enormous costs that in a normal city you just be able to jump in a car. And I had a look this morning, and I was like, well, how much does it cost now to sort of travel around London? If you're a family of 4, 2 adults are going to pay £2,568 a year each for a zones 1 to 4 travel card, and 2 kids over the age of 11, they're going to be paying £1,284 each. So the family of 4 each year is going to have to fork out £7,704 just to travel around in zones 1 to 4.
Yeah, which is an extraordinary amount of money. I mean, I used to just, you know, not because it was convenient because I would work normal hours, which I don't do anymore. But it would cost me just to use the tube and the bus system and I only live about 2 miles away from work. And obviously, occasionally I go somewhere else. It's about £200 a month, easy.
Yeah. I think people in London, if they're not able to live there because of benefits, they're being moved out, and they're certainly being priced off the road.
Yeah.
You know, Greens, they talk a good game about this, all the benefits of green living, you know, cleaner air and healthy streets and what have you. But the fact is they're just creating these kind of 2 tiers of population in London. People who have just moved here from other countries, and people on benefits, versus very, very wealthy people. And those people have been subsidised by the Green, you know, by policies lobbied for by the Green blob. You know, so you could get huge discounts on electric vehicles through subsidy schemes funded by, you know, from public money, from taxpayers. Right. And then you'd have a subsidised car parking space for your EV in central London, and you'd get discounts on the congestion charge and other stuff. So it was rewarding people who were on salaries of £100,000 plus per year to come and sort of to have basically a free car. And free fuel, while everyone else was sort of forced onto buses that weren't working properly, and a very overcrowded underground system, which is basically equivalent to what people used to pay in rent just to move around the city.
Exactly right. And I think I'm right in saying that this new congestion charge, when it kicks in next year, will also have a fee for driving an electric vehicle as well, because they're going to start charging them, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're going to pull the plug. I mean, the whole green agenda
pull the plug.
pull the rug and pull the plug on. You obey what the Greens tell you to do one year, and the next year they just put the fines on to you. So everyone, you know, people with money thought, oh, we're going to be green and we're going to get off all these extra charges. And then, of course, the likes of Sadiq Khan said, well, you're next. Yeah. And people don't realise about this insidious nature of the green agenda. It's always coming for you. You know, and then you go on the buses. They'll cancel the buses eventually. You know, once they've cut the emissions from the EVs, once they've chucked all the old petrol cars off the road, then it'll be the buses.
Then it'll be the buses next. Yeah.
Yeah. There'll be some study from Imperial College or something saying buses are destroying the polar bears.
Yeah,
again.
of course, something like that. Or maybe electric buses are so heavy they're ruining the roads. Maybe that's an idea. How about this? I'll just leave you with one thought. I came back from Dubai yesterday, which is not exactly the green capital of the world. But I got into my car, drove back home from Heathrow, because it's actually cheaper to park the car there while I was on holiday than it would be to get a taxi or to mess around with trains and all the rest of it. So driving back on the M4, I entered a clean air zone just as I came out of Heathrow Airport, despite the fact that there's planes dumping, aviation fuel everywhere, and there's all sorts of pollution from the airport. The motorway is reduced to 50 miles an hour because it's a clean air zone. How ridiculous is that?
Well, I think they want to stop people being able to afford to get to the airport, because Sadiq Khan knows he can't really do anything about planes.
Yeah.
So it's an attempt to sort of increase the costs to make people choose other airports.
Yeah.
I mean, Sadiq Khan's a green fanatic. Or if he's not himself a green fanatic, he is completely surrounded.
He's surrounded by an awful lot of them. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Ben, we've got to run. We're out of time. But thank you. Very good to see you. Thank you very much indeed.